Welcome to what proved to be another action-packed season in P1 Offshore's Superstock class. There were thrills and spills in 3 rounds of action that kicked off on Florida's Space Coast in the 2022 edition of the legendary Thunder on Cocoa Beach. That was followed by the Sarasota Grand Prix on Southwest Florida's Gulf Coast. Then the fleet headed to St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Florida for the 2022 APBA P1 Offshore Championship for Superstocks. Now let's head back to round 1 on Cocoa Beach as we review the 2022 P1 Offshore Superstock season. Thunder on Cocoa Beach was raced in all classes on a 7.5-mile circuit that runs the length of Cocoa Beach. Cocoa Beach has a vibrant bar and restaurant scene, glorious sunshine, miles of sandy beaches, and of course stunning ocean views, as fans crowded the streets and enjoyed the traditional boat parade, a celebration of the powerboating way of life as teams, families and spectators joined in the fun with street parties and concerts. This year introduces the 4-stroke 300R Mercury racing engine to the existing 2-stroke 300 XS's. This super competitive class features 28 to 32 foot catamarans with fully enclosed race canopies, and this year introduces the 4-stroke 300R Mercury racing engine to the existing 2-stroke 300 XS's. There were 11 teams and 22 drivers and throttlemen racing at Cocoa Beach, with some experienced champions past and also some new faces in the mix. Last year's overall Superstock runner-up S1 CMR Racing is back on a brand new boat, with last year's champion Sean Torrente racing alongside teammate Sean Connor.
And we're at Cocoa Beach, first race of the season, first step in defending our national championship from last year, and we have a completely new Doug Wright 32 that we got about 3 weeks ago. Brand new 300Rs from Mercury Racing, which we're really excited about. 4 strokes have arrived in offshore, which is awesome, just like overseas.
Last year's championship winning boat is this year racing as the number 14 Atlas Offshore Racing, with driver Tanner Lewis driving with throttleman Billy Moore. Performance Boat Centre had Myrick Coyle as driver alongside Rusty Williams on throttle, with driver Coyle also running the MCON boat.
We're fortunate enough, knock on wood, that we've podiumed every time that we've raced together. So we're going on 16 or 17 top 3s in a row. So that's a big thing that we'd like to keep up this weekend. Now that I talked about it, it might be the downfall, but
we're in it to win the national championship and then hopefully move on to the world championship. Last year we were able to clinch the world championship in Key West, and we were just barely squeezed out for the national championship.
The Superstock race was on. The starting lineup and pole position determined by lottery.
Basically do a lottery. I'm not good at those, so I had my new driver Sean Connor do it, and we pulled 3rd, which is pretty good. So we start 3rd. My old boat pulled pole position, so they're on pole, and we have LPC next to us on the inside, and Alan Lawn Care, who won this race last year, right outside of us. So it's going to be an interesting run down to the first corner. It should be really good.
In our starting grid, we're going to be starting in the 8th position, which is pretty far out. Not the best that we wanted, but it's okay. This is not a race that you win in the first corner. You win it, at the end of the day. So we're here to win the championship at the end of the season, and that's the reason why we are going to push really hard today.
Ricky Maldonado's son Julian was also in the race, starting to his dad's left in Nighthawk Offshore Racing's Steel Industries boat number 3. The Superstock fleet headed out into the circuit. New teams, new boats, new engines, ready for this 6th-lap race for a total of 45 racing miles in very rough conditions. Green flag is up, the race is on. We see Torrente and Connor in the CMR boat pulling ahead to their starboard as CMR gets a great start in the opening straightaway. But look at Jackhammer on the outside, gaining speed and starting to pull away. Team Allen gets squeezed and falls back as Canadian team Big East Construction also pulls away to their left. As the field of 11 boats enters the first turn of the race, those waves pose a daunting challenge. It's neck and neck between Jackhammer and LPC, both boats running the new 4-stroke V8 Mercury 300s. Behind the lead boats, it's Atlas in third. Huge hop from Atlas, that was close. Atlas stays on course and recovers, but they get overhauled by Team Allen, CMR and number 21 Performance Boat Center. The two-way battle for the lead between Jackhammer and LPC has pulled the boats far ahead of the field, and it's the Doug Wright-built LPC boat that gets the clear water and speed to pull away into the lead ahead of Jackhammer in their victory hull. And in third place is the rookie team Nighthawk. What a race for them so far as they leave more experienced teams like Allen in fourth. Team Allen doesn't let up in the battle for third, chasing Nighthawk hard and literally eating their spray. But Nighthawk can only hang on for so long as the experienced Team Allen pulls ahead and grabs third place on the turn. The drama continues up front as Jackhammer and LPC go head-to-head in a 3.5-mile drag race. But LPC gets the better of Jackhammer as Anthony Smith and Lauren Peters pull ahead and snatch the lead, leaving Jackhammer in their spray. But LPC looks like they're in trouble. They go wide and lose pace quickly. Jackhammer sees their opportunity and pounce. In a fight for fifth, it's a duel between number 21 Performance Center and number 89 Big East Construction, which is on the outside, squeezing out Nighthawk. Performance moves up on fourth place Atlas and passes them, as Myrick Coyle and Rusty Williams snatch fourth place in the Performance boat. Meanwhile, the Canadians of Big East Construction find their groove and overhaul Atlas, who are bumped down to sixth. Big East going hard and strong with their two-stroke engines. Out in the lead, Jackhammer opening a considerable gap. What a win for Jackhammer. After the lead changes half a dozen times, they get the last say. Runners-up LPC and Team Allen Lawn Care and Landscaping in third. Fourth place goes to Performance Boat Center. Fifth place for Big East Construction. Atlas Offshore make do with sixth, and CMR out in lap 3.
We got a pretty good start right out of the get-go, and then we kind of got pinched a little bit, which everybody was kind of moving around, you know, so we just kind of single-filed out and got a run on them, and then picked off 2 or 3 boats, and I think we ended up third, I think they said, so yeah, if everybody, you know, everything checks out, I guess we'll go to the podium. That's a big deal, especially at Cocoa Beach, Florida. So. Then
we end up by lap 3, we're coming into turn 1, the lower hatch opens on us, starts blowing water in the boat, and we come jumping out. I unbuckled mid-turn, reached down, grabbed it, latched it back up, come around the next corner. We come down to lap 2 and 3, we come back around towards the beach, and I ended up strapping my seatbelt back in, left it straight, let him throttle it, strapped it back in, ran the rest of the race. Not kidding, it was crazy.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I could have set it up a little better, because we are beat up bad. I mean, our bodies are feeling it, and we have some damage on the hull. Minimal damage, so I think we did good. We're happy.
I think you did the best you can.
We won. We won.
Welcome to Sarasota, where the 2022 P1 Offshore and Aquacross Championships saw a double bill of powerboat racing and 2 days of world-class marine motorsport action at the 37th Annual Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix. Sarasota County provides the quintessential white sand beach getaway with golden sunsets and a very vibrant social and artistic scene. The weekend kicked off with a block party sponsored by CMR Construction and Roofing as the teams assembled downtown for the traditional boat parade, and fans got a chance to see the juggernauts up close and also meet some of the drivers. CMR Construction and Roofing is the sponsor of last year's Superstock Championship winning team, comprised of Sean Tarente and Sean Connor.
Last year was our first year. We came out of the gate pretty strong. Won 5 out of 7 races in the APBA Championship. So obviously when renewal came up, we were happy to renew with Sean, happy to renew with P1, and we're now in a multi-year deal with P1. Brand new boat, so when we raced in Cocoa Beach, had a few problems and caused some problems for Lake of the Ozarks, but I think we got everything dialed in. We're ready to roll now.
There were 10 teams in the highly competitive Superstock category in Sarasota. The father and son outfits Steel Offshore Racing and Jackhammer Boat were leading the points going into Sarasota.
Everything good. We're able to maintain a lot of speed all the way around the track. The corners are really wide. So we are very happy with what we got. We were able to get to the top RPM, maintain it all the way around. Very consistently. We did quite a few laps, tried 2 different setups, and this last setup is the setup. I think it's going to be really hard to beat tomorrow.
Defending 2021 champions Sean Connor and Sean Torrente of CMR were off to a rocky start in the first 2 rounds.
But yeah, we don't have any room for error left. Let's put it that way, right? We gotta win a bunch of races, and that needs to start here. So, you know, the good thing is we don't have really much to lose. We can just go for wins. The bad thing is we got some points to make up.
Always a force to be reckoned with is LPC with driver Anthony Smith and throttleman Lauren Peters.
Yeah, we got a good shot tomorrow. We're going to be pole position 1. You know, since we got knocked out last race, that put us in first pole position, which should give us an advantage going to the first corner. You know, if everybody holds their lane, give us a good opportunity to finish in a good position.
The S43 boat is back under new sponsorship in their sleek Celsius boat with driver Christopher Hopgood and throttleman Ryan Beckley.
First time racing the Cat was with Ryan last year, and we fell in love with it, and we decided to buy this boat, which is 2015 Doug Wright, and got into ourselves into a sponsorship partnership with Celsius, which is the 3rd largest energy drink company in the U.S.
The course in Sarasota is a 9-pin oval circuit that is 6 miles long and runs along Lido Beach.
This course has got some big high-speed sweepers, so Throttle Man, you know, really has the throttles down all the way. Gives me just enough to get the boat around the buoys, and yeah, it's a driver's course. You want to make the turn, but you don't want to scrub too much speed.
10 boats ready to hit the water off Lido Beach.
We got 7 position this time. We got professional plumbing onto our inside, jackhammer to our outside. You know, Billy Moore and myself, we're going to come out here and give it all we can to go for number 1.
Following a rule change just the day before, teams had to carefully adjust their boat weights for optimum balance and speed on the water, and also to meet minimum class requirements to avoid being DQ'd.
Well, we did the math, and we went in a light. If we raced the way we did right now, we'd come out a little light. So what we're doing is I'm putting 50 pounds on each side, so we remain legal on the way out of the crane. That's why they weigh us going in, because we knew we had to go in at, like, let's call it 49.50, because when we burn the fuel off, we know that we're going to come out at a certain, and if we come out light, then we get DQ'd, and we don't want to do that. So, and we had to tell the officials that we're putting weight in the boat, because they write down how much the boat weighs going in, so they can do their math at their end to see if anybody's being a little fugazi out here. Not that boat racers would ever do that.
As the fleet of 10 Superstock boats motor out onto the circuit, the crowds line Lido Beach in anticipation of the race. And there it is, the race begins. Big East shoots out of the line. Great start for the Canadian team. Also an excellent start for CMR's Torrente and Connor. The field is tightly packed, the waves are big, the conditions very rough as the boats bob and weave through to the first turn, struggling to keep the boats level. Big East leads the pack on their way to the first turn, but in the melee they lose control and barrel roll. The rescue boats and helicopters speed over, the red flag goes up and the race is stopped. Cole Liebel and Gary Ballack are thankfully unhurt, but their race is over.
Great start. We're right there with everybody else, probably a boat or 2 in front of everybody, or, you know, it was like a horse race like this, and hit a wave and the boat went in the nose and it just kind of bow steered. As you can see, if you look at the motors, that'll tell you where the engines were when it went over. So they were straight, okay? So we just hit a wave, it bow steered and took it off to the right, and the wallet went through the blender.
Went over, didn't feel too hard. Canopy's nice and safe in this boat, so everything's good. Got out nicely, Gary waited for me, got me out, so we're all good. So it would be my first time rolling over. Hopefully not doing it too many more times.
With the debris cleared off the circuit, the boats get back in line ready for the restart. And the green flag is up. The remaining 9 boats lock horns yet again on the opening drag race. The field is packed tight yet again with LPC carrying good speed on the inside, but it's Jackhammer that begins to pull ahead of the pack, followed closely on the outside by CMR, then Atlas and LPC. It's Jackhammer first to the commitment buoy, and then it's LPC behind them. In a replay of round 1, Jackhammer and LPC duel for the lead, renewing their rivalry from Cocoa Beach with the lead changed hands several times throughout the race. But disaster struck, this time for Steel. Their number 3 boat flipping on that rough starting straightaway and now belly up and bobbing in the waves. But Dominic Steele and Julian Maldonado were unhurt. And just down the field, the CMR boat was floating right side up but in pieces, its nose end detached and floating. Connor and Torrente were also unharmed. That was another red flag and the race was cancelled due to too much debris on the course. A lot of hours ahead in the workshop for those teams. Shame for everyone.
Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. Today we were the bug. So boat came apart, it happens. We had a really good setup. We were out front with Jackhammer on the start. Had 2 really great starts because of the first crash. But it is what it is. We'll go back to the drawing board, build a new boat, see what we got. Honestly, it was just a normal flyer. Took a little bit of a flyer, tripped the tail. Nothing out of the ordinary. It should have just touched and kept going and it just disintegrated. So, sorry, it just disintegrated. There we go. All right, good.
That was a lot of drama in a race without a single completed lap. Top break for them in Sarasota. Welcome to St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Florida, which hosts the 2022 APBA P1 Offshore Championship, a powerboat racing extravaganza where the Superstock fleet was joined by the Super Cat boats, Class 1 racing, and various other categories, as well as personal watercraft racing with the Aquacross Grand Prix. Considered the pride of Florida's Gulf Coast, St. Pete Clearwater is famous for its award-winning pristine white sand beaches and emerald green Gulf waters. St. Pete has a trendy and vibrant downtown, a social, commercial and artistic hub with excellent dining, bars and shopping. The cultural scene in St. Pete is also famous for its incredible murals and street art, and of course some world-class museums. The Museum of Fine Arts has art from all ages, and the world-famous Dali Museum houses the largest collection of the famed Surrealist's works outside of Spain. There's something for everyone and all watchable from close up on St. Pete's new pier, with the Pier Tiki restaurant overlooking the weekend action. There were 11 boats entering this round in St. Pete. At the top of the heap is Jackhammer, with Ricky Maldonado and Reese Langheim in the cockpit. The pair have had a spectacular season and are more than 100 points ahead in the overall.
No pressure really. In reality, we are so far ahead of the points that all we need to do is really be very conservative, complete the race. Regardless of how many points we collect, we're still pulling away. So in reality, we're going to push hard. We're going to attempt to win. We have a good setup for tonight for qualifying.
There are only 40 points separating the 7 boats vying for P2, and a year-end podium result is still up for grabs for most teams. Performance Boat Centre are second overall, with Rusty Williams on throttle alongside Myrick Coyle in the driver's seat.
Yeah, coming in after actually our worst race in Michigan City due to a failure because we dipped it in on the port side and broke a cowling apart. We're excited to get back out here and try to redeem ourselves. You know, Jackhammer's got the lead in the national points race, so obviously them and CMR and LPC are the ones that I'm really concerned about for this race.
LPC is third with Anthony Smith and Lauren Peters enduring a tumultuous season, having almost sank in the last race. They need to get back to the front. And then there's last year's overall champion, CMR, with Sean Connor and Sean Torrente already on their second boat, and this could be their last chance to turn things around.
We're on our second boat.
Yeah, second boat.
The other boat was not even a whole boat anymore, so that's cool.
But we kept going. We're
But
still
we kept
here.
going.
We didn't stop.
We got a second last race, so we got one more step to go. We should have won about 4 months ago.
but we haven't.
Going up, we just keep making more progress every race. We get more time together, better result.
I'm really excited because the boat's getting better and better. Just in time for us to give it back to the owners. We've gotten it really good, so we're excited for qualifying today. I think we have a good shot.
Race day and the Superstocks were ready to hit the water off St. Pete. 9 boats vying for the St. Pete title. Play Traders in the middle of the pack in 6th position.
I mean, you know, you're right in the middle, right in the mix of it. So, you know, our class is, you know, known for doing little, you know, bumping and shoving and pushing and crashing. So, you know, you never really know until the green flag drops.
Performance Boat Center has the best seat in the house, starting in pole position, with Team Allen Lawn Care in P2 beside them. The boats motor out, getting into position for the rolling start. And there they go, green flag. The long drag race to the commitment buoy on the far end of the course is on. Great start from Performance Boat Center, but LPC are right up there with them. CMR have laid it down on the outside, catching up with Performance Boat Center as they go head-to-head on the back end of the course before turning back towards the pier. Further back, the battle for 5th as Celsius leads S39 and Team Allen Lawn Care have the inside lane advantage. CMR in the lead as the boats fan out, heading back towards the yellow right-hander. LPC in 3rd, chasing Performance Boat Center for 2nd. Coming around to the start-finish buoy, CMR holds on to the lead, but Performance Boat Center is right there with them. LPC in P3, Jackhammer up from last and into 4th. Great early work from them. Play Traders 4th, then Celsius, Team Allen, Big East and S39. Big East on the outside, but on the attack. Jackhammer on the outside passes LPC to move into 3rd. Play Traders in 5th, also making a move on the inside as they attack LPC for 4th. CMR extending its race lead. They look to be well in control. The two Seans are back. Battle for 4th rages on as LPC finds the speed on the outside to retake 4th from Play Traders. Now, can they hold it? The top 3 positions remain unchanged as CMR, Performance Boat Center and Jackhammer look to be on track for the podium at St. Pete. In 6th is Celsius, catching up on the inside but unable to pass LPC for 5th. But Celsius is taking the fight to LPC as they jostle back and forth, weaving from inside to outside as the boats are closely matched. Coming around that sweeping left-hander, Celsius has settled into 5th as it finds the pace to bump LPC down further to 6th. CMR back to their championship-winning form with Myrick Coyle and Rusty Williams in the Performance Boat Center in hot pursuit. With a 20-point cushion in the overall standings, a 3rd place for Jackhammer would be a good result. Celsius with driver Chris Hopgood and Ryan Beckley doing great at St. Pete, looking to better their results from the first 2 rounds as they consistently improve throughout the season. As the Superstocks enter the last lap, CMR looks good for their first win of the season. And there it is, the St. Pete Superstock champions, Torrente and Connor. 2nd place goes to Performance Boat Center, 3rd place for Jackhammer, Play Trades 4th, Big East manage in the end to pass Celsius for 5th, Celsius 6th, then LPC and S39.
You know, we got what we could get today, right, Sean?
It was decent.
It was decent.
It was decent.
He drove a freaking awesome race. I felt like I was on him too much because we haven't really raced that much, even though we've been racing all year, but he drove incredible. And luckily we had finally a good enough setup to just put it on him like we should have been doing all year. And you know what? We need to thank Performance Power Boats and Performance Boat Center for all the work on the boat and making a really good boat. You know what I mean? They've done a great job.
It's fast.
Yeah, it's very fast.
Yeah, coming through the left-hander at the end of the race, we were seeing over 110, 111 through that turn. And it's a eerie feeling when you're going that fast, waiting for it to hook or do whatever, waiting for it to react. And once it reacts, you're on your line to the next buoy. It's pretty impressive. So.
Yeah, we for sure accomplished what we came to do. We came here for, you know, a safe race, finish the race as far forward as we could, if possible in the podium. For sure we accomplished that. We went a little bit big on propellers, so we had a safe running boat, good cornering, but not acceleration. So it was going to be really hard to battle for the lead and the win.
In the overall standings after round 3 at St. Pete, It's still Jackhammer on top, 20 points clear of Performance Boat Centre. With LPC third, CMR moving up to fourth with that win, and Big East in the top 5. And that concludes the 2022 P1 Offshore Superstock season. We'll see you in 2023 for another season of action-packed racing.